everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can see by the title, I have quite an exciting one for you guys today. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create 3 different DIY last minute Halloween costumes. So for this video, I've basically been challenged by Asda for their Home for All Things Haunted campaign, and I'm so excited to be working with them. And Asda has such an amazing selection for Halloween things. They've got the costumes, they've got decorations, and even treats and snacks. So they've basically got everything you ever need under one roof. So I've basically gone into Asda and picked up a bunch of goodies, which I'm really excited to show you guys how you can upcycle them and kind of turn them into your own bespoke costume. As well as those, I'm also going to be using some things that you might already own in your wardrobe, which makes it so cool because you can just transform like an old dress into a Halloween costume, and you know, you can save some dollar, so that's great. But anyways, without further rambling, let's get on into the video. For the first DIY, we're going to be revamping a witch's hat, which I got for 50p with this really cool black garland. This was actually in the decoration section, but it looks so cool that you could obviously use it as a part of a costume rather than just a decoration. So once you've measured out the length around the circumference of your witch's hat, what you want to do is cut off the end and then start gluing this to the base of the hat. When using a hot glue gun, make sure to read and follow all of the safety instructions beforehand, and children should only use one under close supervision of an adult. But if you guys don't have a glue gun, you can also use a super glue. Once the garland is stuck firmly to the hat, I'm taking a spray paint that's gold, and I'm just basically going to spray this over the leaves to give it some texture and also some dimension. I feel like it was very black and solid, so you couldn't really see much of the leaves, and I thought this would just bring it to life and add it that extra layer of detail. I'm then going to take my witch's hat off to the side and let that dry for a little bit, and I'm going to take some plastic black spiders, and I'm also going to spray paint those gold. I feel like this just makes them look a little bit more visible on the hat. Once they're dry, I'm then taking my hot glue gun once again, and I'm sticking those little spiders onto the top of the hat in random places. I feel like this just makes the hat look so much more expensive and really bespoke, and the fact that you can take such an affordable witch's hat, which was only 50p, and turn it into this is pretty impressive. Now for my dress, I'm taking an old black dress that I already had in my wardrobe, which I haven't really worn much, and I decided to turn this into my witch's costume. The first thing I'm doing is I'm just cutting the very bottom of the dress to make it look really ripped and, you know, a bit more scary. I'm just cutting in these long triangles of fabric at the very bottom. I feel like a lot of store-bought costumes also do this, so we're just gonna replicate that on our own dress. Again, I'm doing this step to the sleeves of the dress as well, just to make it look a little bit more ripped and a little bit more scary. This step is of course optional, but I feel like it just adds a little bit of something to the dress. I'm just taking the gold spray paint and I'm just spraying that around the ripped parts of the dress and also the neckline, just to create a slight ombre effect, and I feel like this links in really well with the hat that we previously DIY'd. Once your dress is dry, you can pop it on, and I'm actually taking this spidery sort of layer of fabric that's quite sheer, and I'm just wrapping this around the waist of my dress to create an illusion of more layers to the dress. Next up for makeup, I'm using the Monstrous makeup set from Asda, and I'm just going to be taking the green face paint and just covering my whole face and neck with this. This makeup set does come with some sponges that you can use, but I'm just going ahead and using my trusty old beauty blender. Once the green is on my face, I'm then taking the white cream face paint, which is actually really nice in texture, and I'm just applying that under my eyes and my forehead just to add some dimension back into my face. I'm then taking the black lipstick and just applying that to my lips, and also reaching for a black eyeshadow and just applying that kind of messily, which you can then blend out into the green to add a smoky effect to it. The next thing I'm doing is I'm just applying some black eyeshadow into my brows because we are going to be wearing a black wig, and I'm just making them look a little bit thicker as well. And lastly, I'm taking the black face paint from the set and I'm just drawing on 2 little spiders on my face. I felt like this just completes the look. You can also take some white face paint and add some subtle highlights to the spiders to make them look a little bit more three-dimensional. Next up, it's wig time! So I got this one from Asda for £4. It's really long and black, and it looks very messy, so that's perfect for a witch. So I'm just gonna brush this out and kind of backcomb it a little bit as well, and then I'm adding my witch's hat that we DIY'd earlier, and this is the finished look. Of course, if you guys want to go to town, you can also apply the green face paint to your arms and legs, but I just applied it to my face and neck area to show you guys the idea. For the next DIY, you're gonna need some orange yarn, which is super inexpensive, and the first thing you wanna do is kind of just wrap it around your hand. You wanna keep going, and you probably wanna wrap it around about 200 times, which seems a bit excessive, but you guys are gonna see in the end why you need to do that. Once you feel like you have enough thickness, you can cut off the excess yarn, place it on the table. You then just want to cut off another roughly 15 centimeters of yarn and just wrap this around into a tight knot. As you can see, once you tie it off, it kind of starts to look a little bit like a pumpkin, right? So then you want to take a green pipe wire and just place that in the middle and then tighten this up with the excess yarn into a knot. Once the pipe wire is tied in place, you want to then bend it upwards and basically start twisting it around each other. This is supposed to be the stalk of your pumpkin, so you can cut off the excess yarn if you like, and this is the finished thing. It's a little yarn pumpkin, which is so cute and really easy to make. Once you've mastered making one of these, you can make a couple more and start hot gluing them onto a headband to make a bespoke pumpkin headband. Again, if you don't have any hot glue, you can also use some super glue. I'm pretty sure that will work as well, but I just find that hot glue is the easiest and quickest way to achieve something like this. And this is it. This is the finished pumpkin headband. Now let's move on to the pumpkin shirt. So the costume is again super simple and easy to make. All you need is an orange colored top or t-shirt, anything that you might already have in your wardrobe. I'm then just taking some black foam and I'm sketching out the outline of some pumpkin carved eyes and also a mouth. If you're not a very good artist, you can obviously use a stencil off the internet. I was just looking at one of the pumpkin decorations that I already have in my room, and I'm just drawing out some triangles and just basically popping them into place. Once I've done that, I'm then just taking another piece of black foam and I'm just drawing out the mouth portion of the pumpkin and then cutting that out and popping it into place. Once again, you guys know I don't really do sewing, so I'm just taking my trusty hot glue gun once again and I'm just gluing this onto the top of the t-shirt. When you're doing this, just be careful that the two layers of fabric, the front and the back of the shirt, don't glue together because that would be a disaster. And this is the finished jumper. It is so easy to do. Now we can move on to makeup to really complete this last minute Halloween look. So I'm just taking the orange cream face paint and I'm just applying that all over my face with a beauty blender. I'm then taking a brown eyeshadow and I'm starting to draw out some vertical lines across my face. If you look at the pumpkin behind me, you can kind of see what I'm trying to recreate. They're just kind of like ridges of the pumpkin. I'm then taking a white face paint and I'm just creating some highlights in between those lines to kind of, you know, add a little bit of highlight to the pumpkin. And then I'm moving straight onto the black, so I'm just creating the carved out black eyes and also the nose and mouth. Again, if you're struggling with this, you can obviously look at an image off the internet as a reference. For the mouth, I'm just creating a long line down the side of my cheek and just drawing little lines attached to that line. I really hope that makes sense. And lastly, to complete this look, I'm taking my Halloween earring set from Asda and I'm taking the little pumpkin earrings and just popping them in my ears, and I feel like it definitely completes the look. And this is the finished costume. I love how easy it is to recreate this look and also create the costume. So if you have no idea what to be and you still haven't got your costume, this will be the perfect thing to be. Now for the last DIY, we're creating a zombie bride costume. So I'm just taking this old baby doll dress that I have laying around in my cupboard, and again what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the triangle kind of frayed effect to the sleeves. I feel like doing this tiny step just transforms any piece of clothing to make it look a little bit more Halloween appropriate. I'm then taking some white lace and placing this over the seam of the dress at the top. I'm then just cutting this into place and then hot gluing this down onto the dress to make sure it stays in place. I got this lace from my local craft store, so I'm sure you guys can find something similar to it. Once that's glued into place, I'm taking another piece of lace. This is in a slightly different style, and I'm just running this along the neckline of the dress and then again hot gluing this into place. I feel like adding a slight lace to it just makes it look a little bit more creepy, a little bit more Victorian and aged. And then I'm just taking my scissors and just cutting a bunch of holes into the dress to make it look a little bit more distressed and old. Once I'm done with distressing the top part of the dress, I'm then heading down to the bottom part and I'm starting to basically just cut and distress the very bottom of the dress. I feel like again this will just make it look a little bit more Halloween appropriate. It makes it look a little bit more torn and creepy. And now to really finish off the dress, I'm taking some red fake blood spray, and this is perfect for clothes. It's totally safe to use on clothes, so I'm just taking that and spritzing that all over the dress to make it look really, really creepy. Now, to accessorize this dress, I've just got this little blood choker from Asda, which I think just really completes the look, and then I'm just taking some white face paint for the makeup. This is a super simple makeup. We just want to make ourselves look really dead and ghostly. I'm then taking the red lipstick from the makeup kit and just applying that all over the lip. And lastly, I'm just taking some brown eyeshadow on a big blending brush and just going all around my eyes to make myself look really tired and deadly. Now, to complete the costume, I'm just taking some blood tights from Asda. Now, you can also add a wig, so I'm just going for this haunted beauty wig, which looks really creepy. It kind of looks like a spider web, and I just added that, and I feel like it definitely completes the whole look. So those were my 3 Halloween costumes for last minute that you guys can DIY at home. I honestly love this video so much, and thank you so much to Asda for sponsoring this video as well. I had so much fun upcycling some things that I already own, but also kind of taking some accessories from their super affordable range and just, you know, making something really cool out of it. The thing I love about Halloween is that you can be so imaginative with your costume, and it's the one chance in a whole year that you can be anything you want. In case you guys want to recreate these DIYs and pick up the things that I used in this video, I will have all of the links down below to all of the Asda products that I use. Some of these products are only available at selected stores, so if you guys can't find them in your local one, you can also shop online. Let me know down below which one of these costumes was your favorite. I know they're pretty generic and standard, but I mean, you know, who doesn't like to be a pumpkin or a witch at Halloween? I feel like it's a classic. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that huge thumbs up just down below, and also don't forget to hit the bell button down below as well to stay notified of every time I post a new video. But that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah.